Hello, everybody. Today we're going to go over 5 AI high-ticket build and release offers or AI infrastructure offers. We're going to go over what this means, the do's and don'ts, how high-ticket it gets, and then how to incorporate AI into the mix. AI is going to change the way that we live forever. Reality, as we know it, will never be the same, whether it's business, work, relationships, running a company. AI will be integrated into all of it. So I'm super excited to break down these high ticket offers so you can release them into the market and make a killing this year. And yes, these offers do work. I've signed $7,500 clients before using AI and automation on the back end for large scale companies, 6 and 7 figure companies. So I'm super excited to break down what you need to know, the do's and the don'ts, and then 5 amazing high ticket build and release offers in 2024. Before we start, I highly recommend you hit this little button right here if you want to stay updated with AI and automation and scaling your company using these technologies in 2024. And you can't continue if you don't know this about build and release or BNR. Essentially, it's an offer where you build a custom piece of infrastructure like a system, code, automation, organization. You build that system and then you release it to the customer. And the whole goal of this custom built piece of infrastructure and the system is to increase revenue, save time, increase organization, or 100 other benefits or verticals. There's many verticals that you can attack in a business. Obviously, you want to increase the revenue and save time if you're doing one of these things, but essentially you're making a custom system and then it's going to increase the revenue or save them time. Obviously, the most useful one would be increasing revenue, but there's 100 different verticals that you can attack, build out custom infrastructure for, and then release it to the client. You can think about a business as a bunch of puzzle pieces. They might be missing one, and this custom piece of infrastructure that they need, they will pay you to build and implement into their business to make them whole, to make them more money, to make them run faster or more efficiently, all right? And this missing piece is slightly different for each company, vertical, and niche. And this also defeats the commoditized service being offered in the market, which usually results in a race to the bottom. So essentially right now, a lot of people are offering one single service. And if everyone could offer that service and the barrier to entry is super low, it becomes a commoditized service, which is again a race to the bottom, people undercutting on prices, and makes it very hard to gain traction and to scale your company. The build and release offer is about stacking value in the forms of different deliverables and releasing this custom infrastructure to a company, a niche, a vertical that you are in. It is not easy. It is much harder to fulfill than a commoditized service, but the harder the service, the higher the barrier of entry, the less people are going to do it, the more room to grow. So by no means is this easy. If you think a build and release offer is easy, if you think hiring the team is easy, perfecting the offer and the service delivery and the results you get is easy, it's not. And if you want it to be easy, I'm sorry, click off the video because it is a hard offer to fulfill on. That's why there's so much room to grow. The harder something is, the less people will do it, the more opportunity you have to grow. How much you are paid and how much people put a value on your service directly correlates to the complexity and the difficulty of the problems you solve. You solve harder problems, you will get paid more. You solve easier problems, you will get paid less, and you will be commoditized in the end. And as I mentioned before, build and release has allowed me to sign higher ticket clients than ever before. This was a $7,500 client, one of our biggest clients to date. You could go over the video that will pop up on the screen here. It'll go over all the services, the niche, the price, everything is broken down in that video if you want a better idea of what a high ticket business wants, what you could sell to them, and how it is actually working with a high ticket multi-7-figure company. I highly recommend that video. You can go check it out there. And as I mentioned before, build and release has allowed me to sign higher ticket clients than ever before. This was a $7,500 client that we signed, one of our biggest clients to date. And the video will pop up on the screen here. We go over the services and niche, price, everything that we did, how it is like working with a 7-figure business owner, how it is like fulfilling for them, what type of services they need, what type of services they'll pay for. All of that is broken down in this video, so you could go ahead and click on that somewhere up there. But there are pros and cons to build and release, just like every model has their pros and cons, and they're all broken down in the video above. So I highly recommend, again, you go and check that one out. Now, here's an example of a build and release offer, and shout out to Serge Guittari and all the other people talking about this right now. I've been doing build and release for about a few months. I know he's been doing it for a while. He just pivoted into the AI space. I'm sure a lot of you are coming from that video, so comment if you've seen his stuff before. Amazing creator, and I love what he's putting out there, and it's finally correlating with the AI niche that I've chose. So a build and release offer is one that stacks multiple services. Again, so not we will run your Facebook ads. That's a commoditized service. Instead, it's we will run your Facebook ads, track every single data point, readjust ad spend accordingly, have an AI appointment setter on the back end to book calls, and then sales training to close the leads that our AI appointment setter books. That is a build and release offer. You see how much different that is from there? You could charge 10 times more, and then once you build out the system, you could release this custom infrastructure to multiple clients. And when you go about delivering a service just like this one, you would build out the infrastructure and the systems and the SOPs and documentation. And this is a problem that I see a lot. So when you do this build and release offer and when you build it and release it to a client, you would build the infrastructure in the system, great, and SOPs and documentation. Do not give someone a complex AI automated system and then give it to them with no support, no training, no SOPs, no documentation, because you would just be adding on to the problem. They're already disorganized, and then you give them an awesome AI system that you understand, but they might not understand. You just added to the complexity of their day-to-day. They don't even know what the hell they are looking at. So make sure you always have SOPs, documentation, and everything like that when you're releasing these high-ticket AI build and release offers to your clients. Like I said before, when you build and release it to the client, you're charging a high-ticket one-time price and then some type of retainer or rev share on the back end. And this will be covered in another video. These are the basics of a build and release offer. I highly recommend you do a retainer on the back end if you can. We've had a little bit of a struggle maintaining retainers, so we've just focused on a higher ticket upfront payment, but we're going to move into rev share and retainers sometime in the near future, and a video will be coming out on that when we get there. And I forgot to mention, if you guys want to subscribe and hit the notification bell, I post videos like this every single week. Or please shoot me a DM on Instagram. I've answered all of my DMs. I haven't missed a single one. I've answered hundreds of questions. So please reach out to me. Feel free to introduce yourself. I would love to meet you. Or join the AI Inner Circle free Facebook group, and you can download this document for free in there. Now, here's some massive tips that I have for you for do's and don'ts when building out your build and release offer. This has just been my experience so far. We haven't done dozens of deals, but we've done multiple high-ticket deals that I now have a sense of what you should and what you should do. So the pros of a build and release offer or an AI infrastructure offer is it's high-ticket clients. Working with high-ticket clients is awesome. They make decisions. They know what they're doing. They're on time, but they are busy, which is a con. Another pro is that there is little to no ongoing maintenance for clients. Now, if you followed what I say above and you build out the infrastructure and then you give them SOPs and documentation around what you built, all of the questions are answered in that documentation. So they're not reaching out to you a few months down the road. Everything that they need has been released to them. So you could basically sign the high-ticket deal, do the work, implement it, and leave if you leave proper SOPs and documentation. That's why I mentioned that above. And there's a high possibility of a long-term relationship if you build out something that works. So for example, if you sign a high-ticket deal in the lead generation space for a company and it works really well, that same company might come back to you and then ask you for a high-ticket infrastructure offer for their customer service department or their marketing department or their bookkeeping department. So there's a lot of possibility for a long-term relationship with high-ticket clients. And again, working with high-ticket clients is awesome. Finally, you could become an expert in your niche. I highly recommend that you niche down with the build and release offer. It's the easiest way to actually scale the offer because you're working in the same business. So you become knowledgeable and you know people and you have proof of concept and you have testimonials within the same niche. So highly recommend that you niche down. I'll have another video on niching down on the channel, so hit the subscription bell. Now, these are the pros and the benefits of the build and release offer, but there are also cons just like there are with every other model. And this is probably the biggest one. It is much more difficult to fulfill than an average service. So if we go up to our example here of this build and release offer, it is very hard to actually perform on this and get it down to where it works every single time. It takes a lot of failing, it takes a lot of building and testing and team hiring and stuff like that. So it's not an easy offer to fulfill on, much harder than just running Facebook ads or setting up Instagram automations. It's a very hard service to fulfill on, but again, the more money you make, the higher difficulty skill you have to solve. Another con is that you must have a skilled team and multiple team members to stack value. So for example, we have a main dev, we have multiple devs, we have a consultant, we have a bunch of people on the team that we glue together to make this offer happen. You have to be able to manage multiple people in different countries and sometimes different languages. So there's a lot that goes into the build and release offer on the back end. And then sometimes, again, you get no monthly retainers, so you might have to start from zero every single month, which I'm not a fan of, but we're working on, again, releasing a video very soon about how to get some monthly retainer and monthly recurring revenue on the back end. These are just some of the cons off the top of my head, with these two being definitely the most troublesome of the bunch. So now we're going to go over the 4-step process in which you could build your build and release offer. And one is pick a vertical or a niche. So picking a vertical or a niche that you are skilled in will have a much greater impact on how easy it is to sell your BNR offer. A lot of people come to me and ask for a niche. Pick what you are most comfortable with. I just had a talk with an awesome entrepreneur, and he was asking about niche. He used to do dental sales. So I said, just go into dental. The more insights that you have into a specific industry and the more familiar you are with the lingo and the more you have experience in that industry, you'll have a much better chance than the average person of succeeding in that said industry. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you have worked in before, pick that niche and pick that vertical. Also, operating in one niche leads to 80-20. 80-20 is where our company is trying to get to, where 80% of the work is already done and then 20% of the work is custom. This will allow us to scale, and this is only possible if you are in one vertical or a niche. Pick an offer that results in a measurable ROI, like profit or revenue. So we will book you X amount of calls. We will increase revenue by 10K a month. These are the easiest ones to sell. We're dealing with time saved, which is a little bit harder to measure. So right now, this is what our company is doing. We say that we will save you an X amount of time. It's very hard to measure time. It's much easier to measure appointments or profit or revenue. And essentially, the goal of offer is to get it to, we do X, Y, and Z for X, Y, and Z niche. We guarantee you X result. That is the goal of an offer. If you could just say that in one sentence, like, we will use AI calling and guarantee you 20 booked calls, that is a great offer, especially if you could deliver upon that offer. Now, step number 2 is 80-20. Like I was mentioning above, we wanted 80% of the service already done, 20% customized. Again, this refers to the amount of personalization that goes into a client's service delivery, and I highly recommend you to write it out. And I've made a 10-step framework for our actual build and release offer. I have to cover it because this is our whole process and it's not done yet, but you could see step 1, step 2 through 10 is all written out and every single detail is covered. So when it's time to fulfill on a service, I can share this with my team. We can go step by step what has to happen to get guaranteed X result for X, Y, and Z niche. And again, the whole reason that we want an 80-20 customized to personalization mix is because custom work is a killer. We started in custom work and we did over 5 figures in revenue with our custom work build outs, but it was super hard to scale because you're always starting from zero. You're with a new niche, you're in a new business model, you're dealing with different softwares and a different tech stack, so it was super hard to scale with custom work. Now, not that we will turn down custom work, but we're focusing our efforts on a build and release scalable AI infrastructure offer. Number 3 would be pricing and not worrying about it. Don't worry about pricing if you haven't even tested your offer. Why the hell would you be worried about pricing if no one even knows you exist, if no one even knows your company's offer exists? Go out into the market and test your offer and then see feedback you have and customize pricing based on that. Don't worry about pricing in the beginning. Even if you sell yourself short, it's better to get a client and then know the next time you have to charge more. So don't worry about pricing in the beginning. On the sales calls, price your services high and then work down based on the prospect's price objections. This is the only way to test what price is working for your offer. You should be closing at least 20% of your sales calls fairly easily. Adjust your price and offer accordingly until it sells properly. 80-20 is secured and the results are there. So this is where you want to get to, guys. You adjust your price and your offer, so you're selling at about 20%. The 80-20 offer is good, where 80% is already done, 20% is customized. The back-end service delivery is good, and then you're actually delivering results. This is the goal that you want to get to. Finally, guys, here are 5 AI build and release offers that you could release and sell to the market in 2024 and abroad. Remember, pick a niche, have a tangible ROI, usually revenue or profit, stack valuable services to provide a high-ticket infrastructure service, and then get it down to 80-20, where 80% of the work is done and 20% of the work is customized. And the first one, guys, is AI dialers. It's all the hype right now, and I'm sure you have heard of it. And by the way, this section is not how to build the offer, but what the offer entails, like how to structure the offer. If you want a technical breakdown of how to actually build all of this using Make.com, Zapier, Bland AI, all of these other AI tools, I could post one. Just comment down below, technical breakdown, and I will break down how you could build out each one of these AI high-ticket infrastructure offers. But again, AI dialers infrastructure is implementing an AI cold calling or lead qualification system for companies in lead generation and sales. These dialers could do 10,000 calls a minute, like Thanos, basically. It's magic. They could just call up 10,000 leads, or they could even call people to qualify them on the phone. It's pretty crazy. The leverage is in pure volume of sales calls. You do not need a large team of dialers. You could just make one click and then call 10,000 people. It's pretty insane. I do, however, think that regulation is coming, especially if you're here in America or even in Europe. Regulation will be coming for these AI dialers, so just keep that in mind. But there's no need for a large cold calling team. Like I said, the algorithm using AI learns on each call, and then it's automated, thus insanely leveraged. Again, like no one is making 10,000 calls a minute. AI can. So AI dialers is one high-ticket AI build and release offer that you could use. 2 is AI appointment setters and booking calls. So when a lead comes through from ads, an AI appointment setter books in a discovery call or a sales call through text, WhatsApp, or even, again, voice. So from an opt-in to a booked call without human effort, that is the goal. You set up the system once for this company. You set up the infrastructure once. Again, that's one of the points of the build and release offer. It's leveraged in the form of reducing human effort and saving time, and these must convert or else you're burning leads. So you must make sure that the actual technical aspect behind these AI appointment setters and the AI calling actually converts. Because if your client is just spending money on ads and they're getting opt-ins and these things are not converting, then your offer is shit because you're wasting their leads and you're wasting their money and their ad spend. So make sure that these things convert before you push them to the market. You could grab a template of our AI appointment setter workflow in our community coming out very soon. We have an AI appointment setter actually already built, and you could just take the whole template if you want to when that community comes out. First link in the description. Third, we have an AI customer support infrastructure, build and release. You can set this up for a client in the AI Kit detect intent, respond to customer FAQs or even customer calls. This infrastructure would replace massive customer support teams, saving money, increasing efficiency, and then having better support all around and a better customer experience. And a bonus, this offer could include a VA to watch over the whole system. Again, it's all about stacking value. So in some of our offers that we're coming out with, not only are we releasing infrastructure, we're also going to place an employee with that. So they have an added benefit and an added team member that can help them out through their journey working with our company. Now, fourth, guys, we have AI content creation. I highly recommend you stay for number 5. It's my favorite one. But fourth, we have AI content creation. You could build an AI content infrastructure for people and companies who want to build an online presence without the hours of showing their face or the effort of creating content. AI avatars, GPT script writing, and automated scheduling would be included in this offer. And a bonus is you could pair the AI appointment setter from above, up here, with the content creation, so it brings in both the inbound traffic and then converts that traffic into discovery calls and sales calls. So AI content creation is huge. I highly recommend anyone to hop on the content creation game. I mean, it's completely changed the way I run my business personally. Finally, we have AI product integration. I think every single business should be doing it this year. We've already seen a massive trend with the high-level SaaS communities doing it. Go High Level, Zoom, Canva. They're all integrating AI into their product suite, and I highly recommend you do the same. I actually made an awesome video of how you could literally double your prices, double your revenue, and double your profit if you just integrate AI into what you already offer and into your product suite. I highly recommend you check that out. It'll pop up somewhere on the screen right now. But by releasing infrastructure to a specific niche or industry or vertical, we are integrating AI into their product suite. They can now charge more. The product is more valuable. The product is more personalized for the customers. AI and personalization go hand to hand, and then personalization and charging more also go hand to hand. And then finally, it separates their product from the rest of the market. This one is massive. Again, I highly recommend you watch this video. I break down for about 20 minutes about how you could actually go about putting AI into your service or product that you already offer. Insanely powerful video. Every company eventually will use AI, so you can help them bridge the gap in an efficient way, getting them X proven results. Again, you have to try to guarantee them results as much as possible. And guys, these are build and release offers to get you thinking about what is possible. If you want a video on my specific company offer or how to go about mapping out the entire process, like the Google Sheet I just created or a Miro document or even a Google Doc like this, I will break down the whole process and the whole technical building on the back end. You just have to comment what you want to see and I will go ahead and make it. Just let me know. Every single company, guys, will use AI if they want to survive, get insights and pain points of a niche, solve the pain points using AI, productize the service, get great results, and then make some millions with me using AI this year. That is all I have for you. Remember to drop me a subscription if you want to. DM me on Instagram, join the free community for awesome resources, and I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Peace.